We had no more tentative agreements. Like, you know what? It's time. And yeah, 98% of the nurses who voted said, we agree. It's time to strike. It's time to get some movement.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Heidi, tell us about the work that you do as a nurse and what you're asking for at the bargaining table and why you felt like you had to strike.
Thank you. Yes. So my name is Heidi Tujak. I am a registered nurse in the emergency department at University Medical Center, New Orleans, which is a level 1 trauma center. So we treat everything that could possibly be treated for any need that goes to the hospital. And I'm actually a specialty consult nurse in the ER, where I am also a sexual assault nurse examiner, a forensic nurse. And what we're fighting for at the table is basic needs of all nurses, adequate meal and rest breaks that we're not getting right now, safer staffing ratios where we're not expected to take care of 6 patients per nurse. That's not in the ER, that's on our medical surgical units, leaving 10 minutes per hour per patient. And we just don't feel like that's enough time to be able to devote to our patients. And decreased workplace violence. We've had incidents where deadly weapons were brought into the hospital, and we've been promised things like metal detectors to prevent that, and we still haven't seen that happen. So those are some of our top priorities with what we're fighting for.
Why? Those sound, Heidi, I have to say, very reasonable. Why is the management not giving you what you're asking for?
Well, it's the shift in power. So we organized back in 2023. We had our election in December with an 82% majority of nurses who voted to be in this union because we decided we needed to be able to have a voice and speak up. Management was making a lot of decisions without us and maintaining that power because, of course, when nurses are asking for more, it's going to cut into profits and their bottom line and their bonuses that they get every year. So our multi-million-dollar salary CEO is worried about his pennies and not wanting to spend those on things that the nurses need to better take care of their patients.
Right. And so you announced the union, you're unionized with National Nurses United. You announced a 1-day strike, but then management said, we're going to lock you out for 2 more days after your 1-day strike. Why are they doing that?
They said that since they had to contract nurses to replace us for the 1 day and the contracts were a minimum of 3 days, it wouldn't make sense to pay both of us. So they would rather pay the contract nurses $2 million per day to replace us than allow us to come back and actually take care of the patients in the building that we know and the patients that we know and the community that knows us that we want to take care of.
I have heard through the grapevine that the scab nurses have had a difficult time finding hotels because of Taylor Swift. Can you confirm or deny that rumor?
Well, the hospital is across the street from the Superdome. We are not far, and Taylor Swift was here for the weekend. She played a show last night, another one tonight, and another one on Sunday. The hotels were going for about $600 a night, and the strike nurses were being bussed in close to an hour away because that was the closest hotels that were available.
Wow. Was that strategic? Was when y'all decided when I'm gonna strike, did y'all know Taylor Swift was gonna be in town?
We started planning this when we launched our first informational picket. We launched our plan to strike, hoping that just putting the pressure on management would help them convince movement at the table. And that was back in July, and we just haven't seen anything. So when we had our negotiations canceled in September with only 18 hours of notice and saw no movement with our last session in October, just a couple of weeks ago, we had no more tentative agreements. Like, you know what? It's time. And we called for a vote, and 98% of the nurses who voted said, we agree. It's time to strike. It's time to get some movement.
Well, Heidi, sorry that the interview has to be so short. We do have to go. Heidi is a registered nurse with the University Medical Center in New Orleans. They were on strike yesterday. They are locked out today and tomorrow, and we're wishing you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll be able to follow up with news of a tentative agreement in the not-too-distant future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.